about your best female artists. I'd love to know. Is it a J-Lo versus a Lizzo versus a Tina Turner, perhaps? Who's your go-to for a female artist?
I love Nora Jones. I just think her voice is so beautiful, and she
Yeah.
always stops me in my tracks.
Nora Jones.
I'm so lucky to be from Australia, where we have the most amazing Indigenous artists as well. So when you move from kind of the vocal music and you look at some of our artists and some of the women, and I think if you're ever in Canberra, come to my home, because I have quite a collection of amazing female artists. But I think there's one. I don't know if you've heard of Lila Watson, who is a visual artist and activist, but she's also quite amazing, and she's a very inspirational woman. She actually, there's a quote of hers that I absolutely love and that inspires me, and she said, if you've come here to help me, you're wasting your time. But if you've come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. And I love that so much. It's back to what I said, that women all over the world share similar barriers, similar challenges. And when women are experiencing massive human rights abuses, like we're seeing in certain places in the world, when you see women who are experiencing extreme violence and conflict, when you're seeing the levels of domestic violence that play out, that affects every single one of us. And so fighting against that, no matter where we are, is all of our liberation. And I love that quote for that reason.
Well, on that note, a world that's gender equal, gender agnostic, is that happening in your lifetime, you think?
I just think we still have, for gender equal, gender agnostic, unfortunately, we still have a long way to go. So my lifetime, I mean, if you look at the stats, I think it would suggest that, there's 200 years to see employment gaps closed, or there's I think it was 286 years to close gaps in legal protection and remove discriminatory laws, if you look at progress to date. 140 years for women to be represented equally in positions of power and leadership. In my own country, I think I quoted the CEO balance, and it was something I read the other day. At this rate of change, it'll take another century before we have a gender balance in CEO positions. So if you look at those stats in terms of just gender equality, they're a bit pessimistic. And again, if we note some of the regression during the COVID years, and then some of the pushback that we're seeing now, it's not a great picture. And as I noted before, not a single country in the world is on path. But I'm an optimist. So I think, as we look forward, and we look, for example, at this incredibly sticky, horrible problem of climate change, this existential threat to all of us, there's no way that we're going to address climate change without gender equality. Women are both disproportionately affected by climate change and climate disasters, but they're also part of the solution. You're not going to find solutions if you ignore what 50% of your population can contribute to that. So it's issues like that. The more we can move from helping people understand that all of our liberation is bound up in this, and really engaging to try to fast track some of this. Human beings can, when we work together, do some pretty amazing things. So despite the statistics and despite some of the recent setbacks, I want to see it. I remain hopeful, but the statistics
so we all
work for us.
Keeping my fingers crossed as always. And wrapping up our conversation, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. It was truly enlightening. Thank you.
No, it's my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm going to enjoy for the next few days your beautiful country and the amazing food. I have to say, I'm a vegetarian, and I'm in vegetarian heaven.
It is. Enjoy your stay in India. Thank you so much.
94.3 Radio 1.